Once you give that to a man, guess what? I'm gonna ask y'all a question. If I'm gonna give a scenario. If you go to Publix or something, and you see somebody licking all the frosting, the last cake in there, they're licking all the frosting off the cake, eating it all up, and then it's just the cake part left. Would y'all buy that cake? It's the same thing that you're doing to yourself. You defiling yourself because guess what? You giving all your best, your sweetness to a man that don't give a damn. That all he wanted was the frosting, but he didn't want to cut into the cake, and he didn't want to dedicate himself to the whole cake. He only wanted just that little bit of sweetness off of the cake, but he didn't give a damn about the rest.
Right.
All praises, the person you're with, you're actually engaged. So all praises, I hope you guys follow all the way through. I want to ask you a question. What's his race? What's his nationality? He's white. What's the nationality of the guy that you're dealing with? Haitian? Guess what? It's all wrong. Everything is wrong. Everything's wrong. I know you like eating legume and all that stuff. I know you like chilling and stuff like this. Your sister-in-law?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I want to show you guys something real quick. Go to Ezra chapter 9 and verse I think it's like verse 13. Sis, real quick question. Are you dealing with a man? Okay, how old are you? Oh, you look real young. All right, that means you don't need no boyfriend. Focus on school. All right, focus on school. Sisters, do not focus on the right things in life. A nigga will use you and abuse you. You understand? What I'm saying is that a man, he'll only be with you for the wrong things. You understand? And a lot of times we don't even know how to marry properly. You understand? Because as a people, we don't understand the importance of marriage according to God. Not according to our heart, not according to how we feel, but according to God. Now let me see. Did you do? Yep, read that.
Ezra chapter 10 and verse 2.
Subscribe to Sister Messiah.
Ezra chapter 10 and verse 2. And Shechaniah the son of Jehiel, one of the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Ezra, we have transgressed against our God.
So we transgressed against our God. Read on.
And have taken strange wives of the people of the land. Yet now there is hope in Israel concerning this thing. Now therefore, let us make a covenant with our God to put away all the wives and such and such as are born of them, according to the counsel of my Lord.
Down to Rock 26. So what we just read was basically our men and our women were marrying other nations. People outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, which are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Like the man you're with, he is so-called Caucasian. I know it might sound crazy, but according to the Bible, God says marry amongst your race. Like Caucasians are supposed to marry Caucasians.
Right.
Because the Israelites are supposed to marry Israelites.
Right.
The Arabs are supposed to marry Arabs. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what God says in the Bible. In America, we have this melting pot where it's like, hey, we friends, we love each other, but that's not according to God. Read that, verse 19.
Sirach chapter 26 and verse 19. My son, keep the flower of thine age sound.
Meaning, keep the flower of your age going into who you deal with. Read on.
And give not thy strength to strangers.
Meaning, don't go in on the other nations. Anybody outside of the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on.
When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession.
When a man gets a woman, that's the fruitful possession. Read on.
Through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So thy race.
Say what?
So thy race.
So the Bible does talk about race. A lot of times we disconnect race with the Bible and we think, oh, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. No, that's not the Bible. That scripture is of the Bible, but the twist that Christianity put on it is not of the Bible. Read on. So it said, so thy race.
So thy race, which thou leavest, shall be magnified.
So, sis, you being an African American, what you're doing, you're actually magnifying a race outside of your race. You're actually magnifying this race, the race that took us into captivity, that took us into slavery. And a lot of times we don't connect those dots. But just what, 60 years ago, you had, what was it, civil rights movement. You go back another 30, 40 years, you had us going into slavery, our redlining and so on and so forth. You had us being lynched and so on and so forth. And I know it's a disconnect. You know why it's a disconnect? Because they downplay our history and they excel their history. And they be like, wait, hey, it's all good. We all love each other.
Biracial child, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't agree.
Okay, all right, okay, sis. You don't necessarily have to agree. Isaiah 13 and verse 15.
Sis, come in the shade, sis.
I know you hot with that sweater on, standing out there. Come in the shade. Read that, Isaiah 13. Get to it, Isaiah 13, 15.
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
So everyone joined, sis. What we're talking about is interracial marriage. Anybody joined to someone outside of your race will be thrust through. Meaning, if you marry somebody who is not of the 12 tribes, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, guess what? God says there's a judgment for it. Regardless if we believe it or not, there's a judgment for it in the Bible.
Right.
Finish it off.
Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes.
So what I hate to say it, but the child that she has and the child that she's about to have is about to be meat washed. That's
Bring it out.
It's about to be smashed to pieces. God, guess what? They did it to us in slavery. Watch
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Yes, sir.
Bring it out.
The same way. Come here, sis. I want to show you something real quick. I want your opinion. What's going on right here? They throwing people in a hole. They throwing babies in holes. What our enemy is doing, what are they doing?
They're taking on our kids.
But what are they doing to, these are Hispanic kids, these are Native American kids. What are they doing to that child right there? No, look what's in front of him. What is that? That's a wall, a big stone block. And what's in his hand? A baby. This is what they did to the so-called Hispanics and African Americans. We both went through the same tragedies.
Right.
And the problem is we have become so disconnected from that now we think that the same people that did this, they love us. If they don't love us, you know what the proof of the pudding is? Just look at Trump. He posted on the news all the time. He said, I want to deport all the Hispanics. You got people who've been working here. I always bring this up when I talk about this subject. I have a neighbor. She's from Colombia. She got deported, left 3 kids in the house. They didn't care about the kids. The one kid was 19, had to go get a job and take care of the 2 younger siblings. Sometimes I go over, I help them, cut their yard, maybe take some trash out for them. But at the end of the day, this is not how it's supposed to be. This all was their land. This was all y'all land. So how can a nation come and take away your land that was given to you? How? Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. Because, hey, sis, so what we're going on is our history in the Bible.
That's
so
right.
what happened is we went into, we broke God's commandments, and part of breaking his commandments, all these atrocities happened to us. From slavery to us to this day paying taxes, to us having to struggle from paycheck to paycheck, from us going into their religions. Everything came from this point on. We became more and more destroyed to the point, like, if I see a so-called Hispanic, I won't see them as my family. I see them as, hey, nah, man, they going through their own problems. You see it right now with the riots in LA. They say, oh, leave the Hispanics alone. They don't stand by us. But the problem is, as a unit, we don't stand by each other. Right. We're both divided on both sides. Don't matter if you go to the Hispanic side or the black side. We're both divided. And then even amongst each other, you got, I remember one time I called a Cuban lady by mistake. I said, are you Venezuelan? She said, oh, no. And then it was like a big deal. And I was like, what the hell? Why is it such a big deal, y'all? I understand, okay, I'm wrong about where you're from. Just tell me, oh, I'm Cuban. Why make it a big deal? But the problem is because we don't have that love for one another. We're divided by nonsense.
Right.
So read that, Deuteronomy 28 verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So God says, if as a people we don't listen to him, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
To do his commandments is an action, read.
And his statutes recommend this day.
Read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now my question is, did a bunch of bad things start happening to us? Did bad things happen to us? Yeah. You had to have a civil rights person by the name of Cesar Chavez. You ever heard of him? He stood up for the Hispanic, the Chicano movement it was called. Right. He had to stand up for his people. Why? Because of the oppression that was going on, because of what he saw, the pay that was getting paid to our brothers and sisters. who are working in the fields, doing the hardest work on the face of the earth. That guess what? The white man don't want to get out there and do that.
Bring it out.
He ain't going out there to pick fruits. He don't even want to work on a construction site. But you know what he will do? He will get that degree and be the boss and tell you, hey, go pick that up. And then go home and laugh with his family and eat good and pay you the least amount of money.
Right.
That's happens across the board to blacks and Hispanics. Now read on.
Getting deported now.
Verse 16. Curse shall not be in the city, and curse shall not be in the field.
So going back to working in those fields, it's a curse working in those fields. And in every city, guess what? We might not think it, but the people that took us into slavery, you still think they see us as equals with them? They do not. They do not. Matter of fact, when I know a Cuban dude I work with, he went to, I want to say it was Polk County. He said he went there. He stopped at because he Googled a breakfast spot because he was on the road going somewhere else. And he said he stopped at a breakfast spot that he heard was good. He went into the breakfast spot. He said everybody turned around and looked at him like, what the hell is this Spanish guy doing? He said everybody in there was white. White, blonde hair. He said everybody was white. And he said they knew. He was like, man, I'm light. He lighter than you. You would think that he looked almost white if you look at him. But he said they knew that I was different just me walking into their establishment. And this is across the board. Now jump over to verse 34. 36. Now watch this.
Verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee.
When slavery happened to the so-called Hispanic.
Montezuma.
Question: did you guys have kings before the so-called conquistadors came over here? Were they kings set up?
Montezuma.
Were there rulers set up? I'll put it like that.
The Mayans.
Mayans and Aztecs. I want to ask you a question. What's your race? I didn't get your nationality.
It's
Mexican. So you come from the tribe of Issachar.
That's right.
Tribe of Issachar was the Aztecs.
Right.
The Aztecs had kings.
Right.
That's right.
They had kings. They have a movie. What's the movie called? Apocalypto. Apocalypto showed a king.
That's right.
He had jewels in his mouth, jewels around his neck. He had a crown on his head. He was a king.
Montezuma, I think.
Yeah. Was Montezuma Issachar?
Yeah.
So you had all these so-called kings that was over you all. But guess what? What did it say? Read that.
The Lord shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee.
So it said the king that you set over you and you, read,
unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
So it says that we will go into slavery. Because I want to ask you a question, because you guys speak Spanish, right? Yeah. Did you speak Spanish when the conquistadors came over? When they pulled up to the shore, was it hola, ¿cómo está? No. It wasn't. It wasn't. Matter of fact, I have a book that says that you all were the most peaceful people that the Spaniards had came upon.
Right.
They said you guys were so peaceful, had such a level of hospitality that it was beyond their mind. And they said that you guys had customs that were according to the Bible.
That's right.
You had traditions that were biblical traditions. Now I want to ask you today, what's your tradition? What y'all go to church on Sunday?
Church on Sunday, yes.
Church on Sunday? Where did church on Sunday come from? You just started, but I want to ask you a question. Where did church come from on Sunday? I want to ask you a question. In Spanish, how do you say Saturday? El Sábado. Do you know the Bible talks about Sabbath? It's not a coincidence that it's El Sábado. You understand that?
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom. What is the nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word, his word.